at WSRadio.com, and you're used to hearing me on Ethertale Radio Theatre, where we do live radio drama productions and read children's stories. And Mary's, I had this wonderful opportunity to fill in for Mary tonight here on her show. A wonderful opportunity because Erik Austin is here, and he's the artistic director of Kelrik Productions, and they're going to be doing some children's plays right here in San Diego County. You're usually up in San Luis Obispo area, aren't you?
Yeah, San Luis Obispo. We're up there, and we're in Los Angeles, but now I'm down here in San Diego. So
that's exciting, and I'm super excited about physically where you're going to be. It's at the Lyceum Theatre, which is...
It's a beautiful space.
Yeah. It's kind of underground, but
it is underground.
but spectacularly underground.
Yes.
With a wonderful feel. You don't feel like you're underground. It's just that it's perfectly sound controlled and climate controlled because and parking is good at Horton Plaza.
There's great parking. You can get an $8 pass to see the show or any show there.
So that's important.
Yes, definitely.
Parking important, wonderful theater important, and there you are. But here's the thing. You do children's productions.
We do family-friendly shows aimed for children.
Yes. For instance, all the actors in this show that people could go to, and we'll talk about dates and times, these are adult actors, but the target audience for the show are, 3-year-olds and their parents.
Right, exactly.
Oh, man. That sounds frighteningly wonderful.
Wonderful.
I got to go. I'll bring someone's kid that I was supposed to take care of. I'll just bring an extra kid that I was told to take care of once and say, hey, guess what? We're going to a play.
You can do that. When I first saw the show, Pinkalicious, I actually went to see it in Chicago, and I went by myself, which was really weird.
Yes, which perhaps can be seen as a little bit creepy. Yeah. But it's a good thing you did go because you like the show.
I love the show,
And that, indeed, is the show that's going to be at the Lyceum that you're presenting, Kelrik Productions, is Pinkalicious. And it's a delightful story all about the color pink, apparently.
All about the color pink. It's about getting you get what you get and you don't get upset. And then, too much of a good thing isn't always a good thing.
That is what you're going to learn. Apparently.
Yes,
that's the spoiler.
Yeah.
That's the spoiler. So when people go, what will they be seeing? Besides this general overview they just provided, what will they see? They'll see a lot of pink, apparently.
They're going to see, yes, they do see definitely a lot of pink, but they see a really colorful cast of characters, amazing actors. I'm so impressed with the talent here in San Diego.
Yes, because you had to cast locally. You came down here new to San Diego.
Brand new to
venture,
San Diego,
and you had to find a choreographer, find actors.
Right, I did. I put some ads out and a lot of Facebooking, and I met this wonderful stage manager named Rita, and I met this amazing woman named Nicole, who is the choreographer and my assistant director. And we did auditions. They helped promote it a little bit, and we had some great people come out. We were able to cast the show. It's only 9 people.
Yes,
it's a very small cast. And then Charlie Glaudini is our musical director, and we've only been rehearsing for 2.5 weeks, and we open next weekend, and we're super stoked. It's going to be very, very cute. So what it is about is what you're going to see is a 65-minute colorful musical. And, there's a lot of different styles of music. There's some tap dancing numbers. There's beautiful costumes, fun little scenery. People dressed up as birds and bees and butterflies.
Yes, and
dancing around.
These adult actors, this particular show has all adult actors. How did you prepare them for the idea of having an audience of 3-year-olds?
I actually a lot of them work at Legoland. I've heard. So
that's helpful.
So and some of them have been paid to stand around and dance with children for a couple hours. That's been their job. So I think the people that came out knew that they have to like children and they're going to work with children.
They were forewarned.
They're forewarned, and we do yell at it. We do during rehearsals. We do scream. We scream back. There's a lot of audience participation where she'll be like, "Where are the cupcakes?" And then everybody will start just yelling because I'm like, "You guys, they're going to yell the craziest stuff, And sometimes you clearly, we can see the cupcakes, but yet, the audience will be like, some of them will say some really some strange answers, and you got to be prepared.
You'll have to write down. Now, before we forget, what website should people type in to get more information?
If you want to learn about our company, you can go to kelrikproductions.org. It's Kelrik Productions with an S.org. And if you want to buy tickets, you can go through our site and buy them, which links you to the Lyceum site. But you can also, if you're a Lyceum Theater fan or San Diego Rep fan, you can just go to the website and our tickets are on their site.
They have a link. Good,
yeah.
Good, excellent. Now, what are the actual dates again?
The dates, we open next weekend, which is the 28th, and we just perform on Saturdays and Sundays. Saturdays at 1 and 3, and then Sundays at 3 for 2 weekends, and we close on May 6th.
So everyone has a chance to put that on their calendar.
Yeah, you get 6 attempts to see Pinkalicious the musical. It's based on the children's book, which if you have a little daughter, and there's a TV show, Pinkalicious and Peter Perfect, that's on PBS right now. So it's a pretty popular tale.
And you had a chance to see this show elsewhere, and you were charmed by it.
I was tickled pink. I actually went in Chicago. My cousin said, she knows what I do, so she's like, you got to go see this show. And then she didn't end up going with me, so I went by myself and I saw this show, and I was like, what is happening right now? But I was like, I enjoyed it. So this is the third time I produced a show. Once in Los Angeles and once in San Luis. So.
So if suddenly I'm stuck with an extra niece or nephew, this is something that I should feel comfortable going.
Definitely. And you know what? It's fun for adults too. It's kind of like when you go see a Disney movie and you're or a Pixar movie or whatever movie. It's like it's aimed for children, but there's a lot of adult humor, and it's actually fun. The songs are very catchy, and you leave happy. Like the thing is, everything that's going on in our world today, like you leave 65 minutes later, super happy, probably with a magic wand that lights up and a fairy wings and a tiara. But you'll be happy when you leave.
Oh, so you won't leave empty-handed.
Never.
That's great. And now this Kelrik Productions, which is the name of your production company, apparently that's based on a couple family names of yours.
Yeah, it's my sister's name Kelly and my name Erik, combined Kelrik. And we grew up in Indiana, in a small town in Indiana, Portage, Indiana. And I used to put on plays in my basement. So I don't know how we came up with our combined names, but she's a lawyer here in San Diego, and she practices her acting in a court of law every day.
Yes,
and I do it on the stage.
Yes.
So so it's grown. The company's grown obviously since I was a kid, but. Yeah, we started off in San Luis Obispo, and my sister did act in the shows.
Yes.
And then when she went to college, she did a real profession, and I went to musical theater school in New York. So that's what happened.
So after this show, what happens next for Kelrik Productions?
I'm actually going back to San Luis for the summer. I'm going to do a Summer of Miracles there. We're going to.
That's if you're groovy, you call San Luis Obispo San Luis.
You call it San Luis.
I see.
Or you
now
call it slow. SLO, slow.
Got it.
Most people call it slow. When people say San Luis, like it's wrong. But so I'm going up there for the summer, and I'm going to do an acting workshop, actually a camp, and then and we're going to do Wizard of Oz and a musical review, and then I'm coming back to San Diego, and we're going to stage Oliver at the La Mesa Church in La Mesa, who has been like the best people ever. They've allowed us to rehearse there, which I couldn't find rehearsal facilities here in San Diego, and so. They just were building a new stage, and I was like, "Hey, do you think we could do a show here?" And they said yes.
Excellent.
So, yeah.
And your productions will continue at the Lyceum. A couple more. I was on your website.
Yeah. We're gonna do Oliver there at the La Mesa Church, and then we have 2 more shows at Lyceum. We have Little Mermaid in the Main Stage Theater, and that's in January. And then in March, we're doing 2 weekends of Pippin.
Yes, and most of these are again. Will these also be productions that are mostly...
The Little Mermaid will be adult cast, and we will have children in it.
Very good.
And then Oliver will have a lot of children in it with an adult cast, obviously. That was a perfect fit.
But this upcoming show was intriguing to me because it's adult actors who are performing for 3-year-olds. Yeah. And their parents.
Yeah. I mean, I think for me... like when you expose children to theater at a really early age, they're going to love it. And they're going to love to go more and more and more. And that's what happened when I was a kid. So, that you can bring your 3-year-old, and if they sit through it,
Yeah. At first thought, it would be hard for someone like me to think, where can I bring a 3-year-old besides Balboa Park that's going to work out? Well, now I know.
Now and an hour goes by really quickly, and the parents love it, and if they'll know this book. If you read to your children, they'll probably know that book. There's going to be a lot of little girls. Everyone's going to be dressed in pink. It's just everyone's happy, like, when you're there. So even if a kid starts crying when the lights go dark, in the theater, like, as soon as they come up and she starts waving to them, and we run through the audience, and but it is a professional show. It's aimed for kids, but it is.
And as you mentioned, the writing also caters a bit to the parents who are in
there
the
are
audience.
some really
much like any classic Disney.
Yeah. It's really tongue in cheek, some of the scenes, and we've played up a lot of. We played up a lot of it.
Okay, and I'm sure it's all still appropriate, though.
It's all appropriate,
Erik.
Of course. Yes.
Excellent. And again, what's the website?
The website is Kelrik, Kelrik Productions with an S.com, .org. We're a nonprofit. And you can learn about all of our season and about the company and what we're doing in San Diego this year. And, yeah.
And people probably don't have to prepare their children or extended family children for the show, because maybe they already know about this Pinkalicious situation.
They might know about Pinkalicious's story, but yeah. And they might be watching it on PBS every day at 11. I've been watching it this week.
Excellent. Yeah. Just to keep prepared and keep on brand. Excellent. What the next show, again, you said, is Oliver.
Yeah, Lionel Bart's Oliver.
And that'll be in a different location.
Location.
But I'm really intrigued about going to... I haven't been to Lyceum in a long time.
You should come down. It's such a great space.
And I've got kids that I'm supposed to be taking care of, so I will.
Yeah.
In our next segment, we're going to be talking about your summer camp and summer camps, theater summer camps. That's also something I need to know more about. So that's what we'll be doing soon on this next segment. Thank you for tuning in to WS Radio.
In the military, things can change in an instant. At Navy Mutual Aid Association, we understand, because it's our life too. That's why our dedication to serving the life insurance needs of our military veterans and their families is unrivaled. Navy Mutual offers superior life insurance protection without military service restrictions and limitations. A single focus on providing the peace of mind military families are looking for. That's what we do. Navy Mutual, insuring those who serve. Call 800-628-6011 or go to NavyMutual.org.
Hi, this is Rob Barnett, VinVillage.com, where wine lovers connect. Be sure to tune in weekly to Vin Village Radio for exclusive, in-depth interviews with the who's who in wine and food.
Gotham Books presents Marriage Rules by Harriet Lerner. The book Martha Beck calls required reading for anyone hoping to interact successfully with any other human, not just for those in romantic relationships. Get your copy wherever books and ebooks are sold, and visit harrietlerner.com to learn how to change your marriage today.
Hey guys, CS Keys here to introduce you to San Diego's #1 health meal prep provider, Fresh and Fit Meals. With over 40 menu items to choose from, several pickup locations all over America's finest city, made and delivered fresh, never frozen. Save on time and money. Super convenient and improves the quality of your life. Just visit the website, freshandfitmeals.com, for all the menus and the pricing. Or give them a call at 858-805-5949 for more details. Remember, you are what you eat, so you might as well be fresh and fit with Fresh and Fit Meals.
Take a break from politics. Tune in and learn something. WS Radio shows are worth your time and are filled with tips and advice. Add us to your lunch routine, and we'll give you a meal for your mind.
Hi, Scale listener. This is David Finkel, co-host with Jeff Hoffman of Scale Your Business Radio. I wanted to let you know that our newest book, Scale, was just released and encourage you to get your copy. The book will give you 7 proven principles to grow your business and get your life back. It's for every entrepreneur who ever wondered if they really own their business or if their business owns them. It'll help you to work less by getting your business to produce more. Get your copy online or at your local bookseller. For more information, go to scaleyourbusinesstoolkit.com.
Talk to me.
Information, news, and entertainment on demand.
WSRadio.com.
Welcome to Home and Heart Radio with Mary Goulet, presented by VinVillage.com.
And again, I'm not Mary Goulet. I'm Scott Paulson. How grateful I am that Mary gave me a chance to take over her show so that I could speak with Erik Austin of Kelrik Productions, who is involved with this wonderful theater program that's based in a couple different cities, but here in San Diego with it. We talked a lot a moment ago about this production of Pinkalicious that's happening on stage at the Lyceum Theatre. And, you know, Erik Austin, you also have a summer theater camp that you do.
I do. I've done a summer theater camp with the company every year. It's not, sadly, in San Diego, but it's in San Luis Obispo. But, we do a theater camp. It's a theater performance camp. So it's 2 weeks of kids coming for 4 to 6 hours a day, and we basically rehearse a show, and then at the end of the 2 weeks, we do a production for their friends and family.
So people who don't live in San Luis Obispo, they might want to look for a summer theater camp for their kids. This is the time that people should be looking for one, isn't it, to sign up?
Yeah.
So what should they be looking for? What are some red flags, green flags, because they want to send their kids somewhere safe and fun. And how should parents research this?
Definitely. Here in San Diego, there's a lot of children's theater companies, and that's what they specialize in. And I hear most of them are really, really good here. I know that I've been to a couple. I've interviewed with a couple of them, and I'm renting sets from a couple of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I've gone through all their websites and see what they offer, and they all have training. You should make sure that they, that their staff is background checked.
Yes.
And most of them all say that, and know where you're going, where the facility is,
mm-hmm.
and know that that there's how many student to teacher ratio there is.
Yeah, that's
kind of
a
important.
good question to ask.
Yeah, and then you'll see through their websites and through word of mouth, I'm sure which camps are the ones to work with. And I think that there's a lot of good children's theater companies here that offer a lot of summer camps. So
yeah, and then some of our listeners too might not be based here because they might send their kids to the grandparents for a month or two, and maybe the grandparents are the one who would send them to a local theater camp. So these are good rules for any state or any town.
Any state or any town, yeah, same deal. I mean, you just want to make sure that you do feel comfortable, like leaving your kids every day and who they're with. And if it's a reputable company, you'll see that they have you'll know. I think you will know just because where it's located. If you Yelp will tell you a lot too. Sadly, about a lot of people go on Yelp and they just complain. So I wouldn't just always
so you can't take that too seriously,
right? But you know what? There's some people that go on Yelp and actually do good, and they write some really good comments. And I think that I know that I've interviewed here in San Diego with a whole bunch, and I looked at the Reader magazine last week, and they had a whole thing about summer camps. And for me, I looked at all the ones that were theater, but there's so many different camps out there to offer, and
now one way people could decide what are good aspects of a theater summer camp is to visit your site, because you've got a good one going that has a very good philosophy. And what's your website again?
It's Kelrik, Kelrik Productions.org.
And I know that your website states some wonderful philosophies about what's supposed to happen at that camp.
Right.
What you're supposed to be able to, what is the takeaway? Yes. And so I want you to tell me a bit about that, Erik.
Well, I think that theater for anyone is just it opens up like a different world, because you get to pretend you're someone you're not. You get a lot of confidence. I think that I teach at Montessori children's schools too, and I do the same thing. I go in for a couple weeks and they do a play, and the parents all come to me afterwards, and it's just like their kids come out of their shell. So it builds confidence. It gives you better social skills, and I think that it just it motivates you to do great things, because I think that every show or every theater story usually is like an I want story, and usually it's a good ending. Most shows are good. Mm-hmm. Most shows end well. So
and these kids really learn how to work together.
Yeah, work together as a group by working as an ensemble, and we try to make sure that, whether you're a lead or you're just an ensemble or chorus member, that we all work together to do the show. And, I work with some amazing people, that help teach the classes, and because everyone has their own forte. Some are better at dance, some are better at singing, some are better at acting. And I think that everyone just has a good time, and there's no embarrassment. Like, people get over being shy very quickly, and we all have the common goal that we want to make this show the best, and we do it in a short amount of time.
Yeah, yes. Now, also though, these kids aren't union actors, but they get breaks, they get meal time. What's a typical day for a kid at a camp?
At a camp it's kind of rigorous, actually. Like, they come at 10. For mine, they come at 10:30. We do morning warm ups for about 20 minutes. Growl around roll around on the floor like an egg, or growl like tigers, and we play a lot of theater games. We do a lot of mirror exercises, and we do vocal exercises and lip exercises. Mm-hmm. Just all the basics that you learn in acting, because it's not just about, for us, it's not just about putting on the show. It's that you're learning the fundamentals of acting and technique, And then we usually do some A-B scenes, where it's just a really simple scene, like, hi, how are you? Good. Where are you going? I don't know. And we tell them, now you're angry, now you're upset, now you're frustrated, whatever descriptive words, and we try to get them to change up the way they think they should read it, Yes. And then we go into music, or they go into dance, and we split them up depending on what, they are in the show. And then they have a little snack break for 10 minutes, and then they go back to acting or singing or dancing. Then they have a half an hour of lunch, and then we come back and we work on whatever scenes for the show.
And that was just the first part of the day?
Yeah, this is the first part of the day. And they do it for 4 hours, and then sometimes it's 6 hours. And
for the whole day,
for the whole day.
So there is a lunch.
There's a lunch.
And there's probably a couple breaks.
And there's a couple little breaks.
And they're also split up into smaller
groups. We
section
them off. So, if, for example, we're going to be doing Wizard of Oz this summer, and, the Munchkins will go learn choreography for Munchkinland, and Dorothy and the Scarecrow and the Tin Man and the Lion will go and do vocals with the musical director, So we split people up, and then other people will work on scenes, because we have 5 teachers for the kids,
And again, you mentioned that a question that you might want to ask is, what is the student to teacher ratio? Now, obviously, in the morning warm-ups, maybe there's one person helping with the warm-up, right, and all the kids are there, but what are the other student to teacher ratios in a day, do you think?
Well, sometimes it's one-on-one. Sometimes it's one-on, depending on how many campers. We usually have 25 to 30. But that's exactly what you did say. In the morning, 2 teachers will lead the warm-ups in a giant circle.
Yes.
And then the other teachers are, working on their plans. But it's all scheduled out. That's a good thing to look for, too, if you're doing a theater camp, how the schedule works. And if it's a camp that's very organized, it will say, from 10 to 10:15, you're doing this, from this to this, so that, they stay on track, because it's really easy to get off track with a whole bunch of kids. And it depends on the age range. I think, too, it depends if you have, if you have really young kids and you want them to do a theater camp. What I'm seeing here in San Diego is that that's how they do it. They do, from 3 to 5, and then 5 to 6 and 7, and then
they
8
split
plus.
the ages.
Yeah, they split it up.
Yep.
Because I know that if I was 15 and I wanted to go to a summer camp, I probably wouldn't want to be dealing with, 5-year-olds, Right. So, yeah, I think that's probably really important to look at as well, or how they structure it, what you'll be doing.
And that summer is going to be in San Luis Obispo.
Yeah,
that's where your camp is. That's your main.
That's where mine
location
is this year.
And when you're down here in San Diego, much of the time you're at the Lyceum, and you're doing specific productions. The next production is Pinkalicious.
Right.
And again, what are the dates for that? We talked about the previous segment, but let's remind people about the dates.
It opens next weekend, which is April 28th, and we have performances on Saturdays at 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock, and then on Sundays at 3, and we perform for 2 weekends, and we close on May 6th at the Lyceum Space Theatre. So you can go on our website, which is Kelrik, Kelrik, productions.org, or you can visit the Lyceum theater website as well, because it links to their ticket site. They're the ones selling the tickets. And they're also on artstix.com, and you can get some discount tickets.
Yes, and there's still an Artstix booth right near that theater, which is great to visit. And there's coffee shops there and whatnot, and parking is great there. And
parking's validated for $8 when you park in the structure at Horton Plaza.
It's a bargain.
It's a bargain, yeah. Well, it's better than getting a ticket.
Yes, and I'm gonna try to go to the show, and I'll bring a niece or nephew that I'm supposed to be babysitting once in a while.
Perfect.
With me, but after Pinkalicious, you'll be back in town in a church facility that has a nice stage.
A beautiful stage. It's actually a perfect facility for Oliver. That's why I chose Oliver to do in there.
Is it the La Mesa?
It's called La Mesa Church of Christ. It's on Jackson, right across from the Jack in the Box.
That's good to know.
Yes, it's right off the 8. It's really easy. There's parking. So, everything, free parking. Yeah. So I think it's going to be a really interesting, twist and see how it works. I think that, if you have a good quality production, it doesn't matter where you are. And for years, we were in San Luis. We were in a church, a Unity church, for like almost 8 years. So, it's kind of like, it was kind of like a sign of something, because I came here, I couldn't find anywhere to rehearse, and I went to that church, and the dude was like, the pastor Graham was like, yeah, come here. And they have like kind of a rehearsal studio upstairs. So
amazing. That's great.
Yeah, with hard floors to tap. It's been awesome. They've been really kind.
Yeah, just don't try to take a nap downstairs underneath. No. And what are the dates for Oliver, I wonder?
Oliver runs, we haven't set the exact dates, but it's October, November. And then we're going to run it for 3 weeks. We're just deciding whether we should do it over Halloween or not. Mm. But the auditions will be right at the beginning of September. So if you have kids after your summer camps and they're loving theater, or if they just are theater kids, look at our website and
if you like Pink.
If you love Pink, come see
that. That's the next thing. That's the next thing. Well, I'm so grateful for this opportunity to take over Mary's show to speak with Erik Austin of Kelrik Productions. Again, I'm Scott Paulson, normally doing Ethertale Radio Theater. But now very interested in the color pink and Pinkalicious. I'm going to have to stop by with some extended family members. Erik Austin, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
In the military, things can change in an instant. Your personal life is just the same. Just like you protect our country, you want your family protected. That's why thousands of military members trust Navy Mutual Life Insurance. Navy Mutual is nonprofit, providing current and former Navy, Marine, and Coast Guard families with life insurance, no sales fees, and no military service restrictions. Protecting members on active duty and beyond. Call 1-800-628-6011, 800-628-6011, NavyMutual.org, insuring those who serve.
One person has the power to change the world, impact millions of lives, and leave a legacy for lifetimes to come. That person is you. In the New York Times bestseller, What is Your What?, Steve Olsher, award-winning author and founder of the Reinvention Workshop, reveals his proven process that has helped thousands of men and women discover, share, and monetize the one thing they were born to do. Grab your free copy now at www.whatisyourwhat.com/free. That's www.whatisyourwhat.com/free.
Take a break from politics. Tune in and learn something. WS Radio shows are worth your time and are filled with tips and advice. Add us to your lunch routine, and we'll give you a meal for your mind.
You take your smartphone almost everywhere you go. Now WSRadio.com can be there too. Search WS Radio in the Play Store for your Android devices or iTunes for Apple, and download the WS Radio application. WSRadio.com, on your phone and in your ear everywhere you go. Download the WS Radio application. Do it now. It's very easy. WSRadio.com.
I've been bragging about Progressive Medical Center to you guys for years, and I'm so excited to have Dr. Agoli with us because, Dr. Agoli, a lot of people walk through your doors, and some of their biggest problems are they're just fatigued, they're tired all the time, and even though they're dieting and exercising, they cannot get the weight off. Why is that?
It's a combination of poor metabolism, inappropriate eating, but more importantly, it's due to a lack of education and really doing the right testing. A lot of our patients are metabolically compromised. What does that mean? Their metabolism is not functioning. The metabolism is responsible for all physical and chemical processes necessary to sustain life, and that includes energy. And without cellular energy, your body is not going to be a burning machine. Let's get back and teach our listeners to be a fat-burning machine.
It's been a lot easier to maintain my weight since Progressive Medical Center started treating me with all-natural supplements, learning proper nutrition, and that can be you today. No more frustrations about being tired or overweight. So why don't you get a hold of Progressive Medical Center today through ProgressiveMedicalCenter.com.
This is your life, live it well.